Hello, welcome to the 30k channel. I'm David.
And I'm Boris.
And welcome to Enemy Unknown and the second game, First Strike. Boris, what do we got?
Okay, well, we're hot off the heels of the last game. The Knights and the Xenos constructs that were unknown, as the title, clashed, and the House Malinax managed to escape with a single knight to warn the enemy. So now the House Malinax have summoned another banner of knights, and they found a nest in the middle of one of their outposts on the planet, and they've sent this banner to go blow up that nest.
Yeah.
Some extermination. Bug extermination.
Bug extermination, yeah. They're going to implode it back into the ground, but reinforcements from the Xenos creatures are rushing to aid their fellow nest friends. I don't know what you want to call it.
Hive members.
Hive members, yeah. They're fellow hive members. So in this game as well, we introduce one of the Guardian drones, which is a much larger construct and has some beefier attacks and shooting as well. So he's pretty good.
Scary. You get your own D weapons now.
Yes, at last, finally. Yeah, as we saw in the previous game, those knights are not to be messed with in combat, right?
I think it's just the Reaper chainswords, just 3D attacks per turn, per round of combat. It's just real nasty. But yeah, they're going to be up against it now, I think. Yeah,
we'll see. So we'll do the forces after we've done this little intro. But it's ratcheting up now, and forces are bigger, and we're essentially just going to meet in the middle and try and chop each other to death, I guess.
Probably, yeah. We'll see. I've got some pretty fast knights, 2 Cerastus chassis. So we might do flanking and shooting, or we might just try and pile straight in and chop you to bits in melee. Who knows? It's going to depend on how effective the shooting is, I think.
Yeah, and let's not forget the objective of this game is the nest. So the knights need to collapse the nest, and it's a medium building.
Yeah, it just counts as a medium building. So armor 14 all round, 6 hull points. And that, if destroyed, awards Malinax 3 VPs at the end of the game. If it's alive at the end of the game, awards the Xenos 3 VPs. Other than that, we have death toll, so 1 point for every unit, and secondary of Slay the Warlord. So 5 or 6 VPs aside, up for grabs. So it's going to be a dance of, do we go straight for the objective, or do we try and cull the numbers and then go for the objective, or other way around? It's up to you. We'll have to see how it goes, I suppose. As the Knights won the last game, they got to choose to go first or second, and chose to give it to the Xenos to deploy first, go first, so we could see where they were.
Yeah. So I've deployed in a nice long line, kind of getting our battle line set. You've pretty much done the same, but you use the cover a bit more effectively.
Yeah, if we're expecting turn 1. We'll try and seize, but we're expecting maybe turn 1 to get shot at. So we've kept our heads down under cover, and then maybe we'll make a break for our turn.
Good stuff. All right, all that remains is a seize from Boris.
Okay, come on.
Oh,
1 away.
Close.
5. Okay, no, so that is Xenos turn 1. Leading the Questoris Crusade army is a Lord Scion in a Cerastus Knight Lancer, equipped with a Cerastus Shock Lance and an Iron Gauntlet Shield. The only elite's choice is a Knight Preceptor in a Cerastus Knight Atropos chassis. It is equipped with a Graviton Singularity Cannon and a Las Cutter. There are 3 troops choices, all Scion Marshals. One is a Questoris Knight Paladin, armed with a Rapid Fire Battle Cannon and a Reaper Chainsword. The second is a Questoris Knight Errant, armed with a Thermal Cannon and a Reaper Chainsword. The third is a Questoris Knight Warden, armed with an Avenger Gatling Cannon and a Reaper Chainsword.
The Xenos Force of Game 2 consists of a Guardian drone. He's equipped with a Heavy Mind Blast, Cluster Spines, a Disruption Spike, and a Telekinetic Dome. Accompanying him are 11 Worker drones consisting of 2 units of 4 and 1 unit of 3. They're equipped with Mind Lance, a lesser Telekinetic Dome, and Cluster Spines. Xenos turn 1 movement. On the right hand of the screen there, that unit of 4 have moved round and tucked themselves up against that building, and they will use the one drone there to fire from. In the centre of the board, the Guardian drone has moved front and centre, right next to that Thunderhawk landing pad, and will try and draw a line onto the Atropos, or maybe the Errant that's over by the rock there. And then finally, these 2 units have moved up and they will try and engage his Atropos. If we can get rid of some of these knights at range to begin with, we might stand a chance. Xenos turn 1 shooting. The Guardian drone will fire its heavy mine blast at the warden there tucked behind the rock. It's got 72 centimeter range. One shot and is a D blast, so fingers crossed we can hit. It's BS5 and we have target priority, which is reroll 1s, which we don't need, which is great. Now we'll roll on the D chart. Ooh, and that's a 2.
Iron shield to the front, so we have a 4-up ion. No, 2, it slips through, so that is D3 hull points.
Wowzers, all right, big roll here. That's not bad, 2 hull points off the bat. Next to fire on the left-hand flank is the unit of 4 worker drones. They're using their Mind Lance, and they have a special rule called Psionic Focus, where they can use one model to focus the shot for line of sight. So there are 11 shots total from that unit firing into the errant, and they require 3s to hit. That is a really good shooting phase there. So we only dropped 2, and now we are 5s to glance, 6 to pen. Come on. Okay, that is not too bad. So it's 2 glance and a pen.
Okay, which order do you want to do these in?
Let's have a glance.
All right, 2 glances, 4-up ion shield. Save 1, fail 1, so that's 1 hull point. And the penetrating hit. Ooh, saved, luckily.
Nice. Next to fire, in the middle of the screen there, we've got 4 worker drones firing their Mind Lance into the Atropos in the distance. They are within range of the warlord, so they get to reroll 1s, and there are 11 shots requiring 3s to hit. Excuse me. Get 1-1 though, we'll take that. Let's have a reroll. Lovely. So we only dropped 3 shots from there. Now, they are strength 7, but it's an ionic flare shield which drops the strength by 1, so they're strength 6 against front armor 13, but they are lance. We are fishing for 6s. 4 6s, come on. Okay, we get 1 6.
All right, flare shield at the front again, obviously, so 4 up. Or 6, luckily.
Lovely. Same again for the other squad on the right. There's 8 shots this time, requiring 3s to hit. They're not within range of the warlord, so they don't get that reroll. And again, we're after 6s. 4 6s. Oh, nothing. What a sad shooting phase. End of turn 1 for the Xenos constructs there. Not a bad turn. 3 hull points on 1 knight is a really good start, particularly at range. And the Xenos are rushing to prevent that nest from being destroyed.
Malinax turn 1 movement. A little bit of a decision. The knights on the right-hand side weren't really going to be in range of that central objective to fire on it, so we've moved around to the right and we're going to try and turn the enemy's flank and then come in behind that building perhaps. On the other flank, the Questoris and the Cerastus Atropos both broke cover and have started moving towards that wall of enemy drones. We might either run or shoot depending on what's in range. Malinax turn 1 shooting, starting with the Scion in the Knight Lancer. Weren't in range of anything, so we used the flank speed and rolled an 11. Next up, the Knight Errant behind the Lancer wasn't in range of anything either, unfortunately, so we decided to run, but only rolled a 1. Next up, the Knight Warden was also out of range of everything, unfortunately, so rolled a run move and only rolled 2. The Knight Paladin took aim at the unit of 4 drones directly ahead and fired its rapid-fire battle cannon. 1 hit and 1 slight scatter resulted in 3 hits to the unit. So this is strength 7, 4s to wound. Oh, only 1 wound, unfortunately.
All right, so we need our invulnerable save of 5 up. Oh, look at that.
Last up for Malinax, the Atropos levelled its Graviton Singularity Cannon just in range of the central objective, which is great. Fired a single large blast, which hit. We now have to roll for the Collapsing Singularity chart. Okay, that's fine, so no damage or bonus either way. So it is Strength 8, AP 2, Armor Bane, so we need a 6 on 2 dice to glance. That is a 6 exactly, so that is a glance against the central objective. End of turn 1 for House Malinax. Not too bad overall. A little disappointing not to really do any damage to the enemy forces and be out of range. However, we did a single hull point to the central objective, which is great. Only 5 more to go. But I think we'll probably end up taking a lot of hurt next turn as we've burst out of cover.
Xenos turn 2 movement, a bit of consolidation this turn. We worked out that we're pretty good at shooting, so we've just moved in closer to the warlord to take a benefit of the warlord trait, target priority, which means you get to reroll 1s. So this unit on here, again, is going to use the Psionic focus special rule to really get the best of the shooting and less casualties coming back at us, or less shots rather, and then everything else is grouped up over the centre to try and prevent the knights from getting to that objective. Xenos turn 2 shooting. We're going to start on the left-hand flank with those constructs that are surrounding that building, and we're going to fire all we can into the front of that lance to blunt the assault from the knights. So there are 11 shots, and we require 3s to hit, but we get to reroll 1s because we're in line, we're within 12 inches of the warlord, and that worked out really well. So 10 hits, unbelievably, and now we're 5 to glance, 6 to pen. Come on. Holy hell, that was a reasonable roll there. So 2 glance and 2 pens. Let's have the glances.
All right, 2 4-up iron shield saves, both made. Holy hell. Excellent. Okay, and 2 penetrating hits. 4 5s in a row. He loves it.
Next to fire is the Guardian drone. Let's see if we can put some damage onto that Knight Paladin over there by the rock. We require 2s to hit. We do get a reroll thanks to our Warlord trait, which we desperately needed. Okay, that's pretty good. That's a 6. And now we roll on the Destroyer table. What do we got? Okay, 4. That's not too bad.
Okay, iron shield save. Failed, so goes through.
D3. And that is 1 whole point. Next to fire is the squad of drones next to the Guardian drone. Again, 11 shots into the Paladin, requiring 3s to hit, but re-rolling 1s thanks to the Warlord trait, target priority. And we only drop 1 again. This is good stuff. 5 to glance, 6 to pen. Oh, yeah, well, that's pretty much the same. So 3 glances and a pen. Let's have a glance.
Okay, 3 4-up iron shields. Ooh, 2 go through this time, and the penetrating hit passed on a 6. So 2 more whole points lost.
Rinse and repeat. We've got another unit there on the right-hand side, 3 strong, and there are 8 attacks going into that Paladin, requiring 3s. We're not next to the Warlord now, so we can't re-roll those, unfortunately. So it's 4 hits, 5s and 6s. Then we'll take that. 1 glance, 1 pen.
Okay, glance first. Passed. Pen. Passed. It's the hardest working iron shield in the entire Knight household.
That's the end of turn 2 for the Xenos there. Nice quick turns here. The shooting output was absolutely phenomenal, but the iron shield saves are unbelievable. So let's hope we'll have a bit more luck in the next few turns.
Malinax, turn 2 movement phase, and we've continued the general advance. The Atropos and the Paladin both just advanced. Paladin took a few whole points there, so he's going to duck behind that building, but maybe keep up the fire. On the other side of the board, the Lancer and his 2 Questoris bodyguards, as it were, have pushed up behind that building, and they'll make a choice about whether they're going to split left or right around it, or shoot. Turn 2 shooting for Malinax, and we'll start with the Knight Paladin. He targeted the unit of 3 worker drones on our far left. 2 shots from the rapid fire battle cannon. Unfortunately, 1 scattered really far into nowhere, and 1 only clipped 1. So a single hit. Strength 7 times 7, 4s to wound. That is a 5. So that is an AP 3 wound.
All right, so we go straight on to our invulnerable save. Our lesser telekinetic dome of 5 up. Fail, but we do get a feel no pain of 6. Wound dealt.
Next up, the Atropos will continue firing at the enemy unknown's nest. It fired the Grav Singularity Cannon. Quite a bad scatter, but still managed to just clip the edge of the crater there. So we need 1 roll on the Collapsing Singularity table. That is a 1. So he deals a whole point to himself. That's unfortunate. But we then get a Strength 8 Armor Bane hit with a 10 on 2 dice. That is easily a penetrating hit. So that is there's a 3, goes to a 5, which is a catastrophic breach. That's great for us. So the building's armor value is reduced by D3. 2, so it is down to armor 12. Next up, we measured from the Knight Lancer, and we're just out of range of its shock lance, which is unfortunate. So we chose the flank speed again, 3d6, and we rolled an 11. So it pushed forward further around that building. Next, we have a Knight Warden, unfortunately just out of range again, so we decided to run and rolled a mighty 5. Lastly, we have the Knight Errant, whose thermal cannon is just in range. He levels it against the Guardian drone and see if we can put a wound on it. Roll for scatter, and luckily it still clipped the model. So we have a single hit, a strength 9, toughness 8, so 3s to wound. Oh, after all that, no wound. End of turn 2 for House Malinax. Not too bad overall. Really good to reduce that central objective down to armor 12 and take another hull point off, which is what we need to be doing. But pretty ineffective shooting all round other than that. We are a lot closer. Our Lancer is threatening their flank and might be able to get a charge in next turn. But the enemy constructs are almost as fast, if not faster than us in some ways. So pinning them down might be difficult. We also have a lot of shooting coming back at us next turn.
Xenos turn 3 movement. The drones here on the left hand side have decided not to go against that Knight's Lancer. They're quite a tough prospect in both shooting and close combat. So they've moved round to get out of its way. Will either engage the Errant or the Atropos. The Guardian drone have moved defiantly on top of the nest to aid its defense. And the other drones have moved forward and they'll either engage the Paladin or the Atropos. But we've got a lot of firepower this turn that needs to come off. Xenos turn 3 shooting starts with the Guardian drone firing into the Atropos. We've got 1 dice and we require 2s to hit, rerolling 1s, don't need it. And now on the D-weapon chart, fingers crossed. Oh, lovely, that's a 5.
Ionic Flare Shield. Passed. Lovely.
Next up is the worker drones on the right-hand side. We've given up firing against the Atropos. It's just too tough. So we're going to go against the wounded Paladin. We've got 8 shots with our Mind Lance, and we require 3s to hit. Rerolling 1s because we're in next to the Warlord, thankfully. Yeah, that is pretty good. We dropped 2 shots from there, and we require 5s to glance, 6 to pen. Come on. Oh, that'll do. 1 glance, 1 pen. Let's have a glance.
Okay. Glance, 4 up ion. Passed. Pen. Passed.
Next to fire is the worker drones closest to the Guardian drone. We have no option but to fire against the Atropos, unfortunately. We've got 11 shots, so fingers crossed. Hitting on 3s. Wow. The shots are getting in there. It's just the iron shields that are stopping us from going anywhere nice. We require 5s to glance, 6s to pen. Slight correction there. We need 6s to glance, sorry, because it's got an ionic flare shield. So we get 2 hits against that Knight.
Okay, 4 ups. Come on. Oh, 1 sneaks through this time.
The worker drones that have moved around the side of that building are using their psionic focus to target the Knight Errant there. And we've got 11 shots requiring 3s to hit. Oh, that is pretty good. We only dropped 2 from there. And now we need 5s to glance, 6s to pen. Come on. Okay, that's not too bad. We get 3 pens and a glance. Let's have those glances.
All right, single glance, 4 up. Sneaks through. So that's 1 hull point and 3 penetrating hits. Love shrugging off the 5s to shrug off the penetrating hits, but that is still a hull point.
That is the end of turn 3 for the Xenos constructs there. Those Knights are proving particularly tough with their shields. There's plenty of shots getting through, glancing and penetrating, but they're just getting turned aside from those shields. So next turn will be very telling.
House Malinax turn 3 movement, and we are attempting to close the noose. We'll see if it actually works out. The Atropos and the Paladin moved up and just possibly within charge range of that Guardian drone. Would be amazing if we could get in and perhaps deal with it in close combat. The Errant and the Warden push forward to continue to move forward into the sort of courtyard area. And finally, the Lancer continued its long loping flank to chase those worker drones who so cowardly fled from it. Malinax turn 3 shooting, and to start with, the Lancer is just out of charge range, unfortunately, so we don't need to attempt to charge, and the shooting won't be that effective. So we're going to continue to close the distance, and we rolled a 9 on the flank speed to push closer. Starting the shooting, the Knight Errant opens up with its thermal lance and lands a hit on the central worker drone unit. 2 hits from the blast, strength 9, toughness 7, so 2s to wound. Only 1 wound, that's unfortunate.
All right, there is a 5-up invulnerable save here, which is failed, followed by a 6-up feel no pain. Come on. No, and that is a wound dealt.
Next up, Trusty Stubber will also fire 3 shots, only 1 hit, and 6s to wound. No. Next, we have the Knight Warden. It's going to open up with its Avenger Gatling Cannon into the same unit as the Errant. 12 shots hitting on 3s. That is not bad. We drop 3 shots. It is strength 6 and they are toughness 5, so 5s to wound, but it is AP 3. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds. That's not bad at all.
There is a 5-up invulnerable save here. Oh, we save one, that'll do. And then feel no pain. We need one of these so we don't lose one. Oh, we get 2. Brilliant. So only 1 wound dealt out onto that drone.
Last up, we have our trusty heavy stubber. 3 shots. All 3 hits. 6s to wound. Hey, there we go. There's 1.
3 up armor. Come on. Oh, feel no pain. 6 up. You dog.
Firing next, the Knight Paladin targets the drone unit right behind the Guardian drone. 2 shots from the rapid fire battle cannon resulted in 3 hits after scatters, so 4s to wound. That is 2 wounding hits. That's really nice.
Okay, invulnerable save 5 up. 1. 6 up, feel no pain. Come on. Okay, suffer 1 wound.
Again, trusty stubber fires out. Only 1 hit. And 6 to wound? No. Last up, we have the Knight Atropos, done so well so far. Fires its Graviton Singularity Cannon, hits and clips both the Guardian drone and the Nest objective, which is fantastic. However, first we have to roll on the Collapsing Singularity, so D6, it's a 5, so no bonus or negative, that's nice. We'll roll against the building first, so Strength 8, Armor Bane. Plus 8, that is definitely a penetrating hit. AP 1, so 4 plus 1, 6. That is a total collapse result. That is another catastrophic breach. So the building's armor values are reduced by another D3. That is 1, so it is reduced to armor value 11. Next, we also clip the Guardian drone. So it is a Strength 8 AP 2, so 4s to wound. That is a 6, thankfully.
Oh, unlucky. All right, we get a 4 up against shooting, which we pass. Great news.
Malinax turn 3 assault, and we are going to try a long bomb charge. The Atropos has done such a good job, he's going to try a 12 centimeter charge into the Guardian drone. Oh, we are out by 1. He tried so hard, but unfortunate. At the end of the turn, we do have a Blessed Auster Simulacra roll to make on the Atropos, so a single 6. No. End of turn 3 for Malinax. Lucky and unlucky at the same time. We started dealing out a good amount of wounds to those worker drones, which is fantastic. And we did a good amount of damage again to that building in the centre, or the objective rather, which is nearing half health and very weak. However, we have lots of drones right on top of us, and we have not enough iron shields to face in all the directions we're going to get shot at.
Xenos Construct turn 4 movement phase, and the drones and the Guardian drone have pushed forward into the Atropos to try and stop it from shooting at the Nest. We have outflanked it ever so slightly, so we'll get some side shots and force the decision of where the Ionic Flare Shield will go. Next, on the back here by the Thunderhawk, the worker drones there have moved into the side and rear arc of that Knight Lancer, which is the Warlord, and we're hoping to put some hull points on it this turn if we can. Xenos Construct turn 4 shooting. We're going to start with the drones in the side of the Lancer there. We're not in the rear, unfortunately, just the side, but that's not too bad. We'll start off with 12 cluster spines attacks requiring 3s to hit. That is not a bad roll, only dropping 2. We do need 6s, however, but we might get a couple. Oh, we do get a couple. That'll be nice.
There you go. 4 up ion on the side. 1 pass, 1 fail.
Next, we'll fire our Mind Lance. There are 11 shots and require 3s to hit. Wow, we're rolling loads to hit here. It's going really well. And again, we need 5s to glance, 6 to pen. Come on. Oh, that was abysmal. So just 1 of each. Let's have a glance.
Okay. 4 up, glance, passed. Pen. Fail.
Ooh, okay, so we get a +1 to the roll on the damage table. Story of my life. 2 hull points. Next to fire are the worker drones in the side arc of the Atropos. The Iron Shield is on the front, so we go unprotected, which is lovely. We'll start with the cluster spines. 9 shots requiring 3s. We get to re-roll 1s because we're in target priority for the Warlord, so we drop 2. Now we require 6s, at least 1. Come on. Oh, we get 2 hull points on the Atropos. That is beautiful. Again, we'll fire the Mind Lance into the side, requiring 3s. There's 8 shots. Reroll 1s for the Warlord trait. Doesn't matter. 5s and 6s. We need that roll again. Oh, geez. 1 glance, 1 pen. Let's have a glance. There is no Iron Shield. That is my fault. So we get another hull point, and we'll roll on the penetrating table. Oh, jeez. Okay, so 2 whole points. Next to fire is the unit of drones behind the Guardian drone. We're going to start with the Mind Lancers because the cluster spines can't damage the front of it. There's 11 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling those 1s. Come on, yeah, that's good. Okay, drop 2, this is good. And again, 5s and 6s. Good roll. Oh, that is shocking. Look at those 1s. That is appalling. So 1 glance, 1 pen.
Okay, the Octopus has a single hull point left, but those side shots really messed him up. Glance, no. Pen, yes. So shrugs off the pen, but the glance gets through and cores out the Octopus.
Rolling on the catastrophic damage. Let's have a look. Ooh, we've got a 5, so Titanic. And let's see where it goes. Okay, thankfully, that goes directly back. And we'll just have a quick measure. And there you can see the plume of smoke of where that knight detonated. And thankfully, it didn't clip any of the Xenos constructs. Next to fire is the Guardian drone. It's got a disruption spike, which is a template weapon, and essentially causes haywire. So it does hit the paladin in front of us. So we just take some damage. Let's have a roll. Oh, that's out the dice tray, getting excited. Okay, that is a 6. Now that is a penetrating hit, but there's an ion shield.
Okay, 4 up. Come on. No, it's abandoning us now.
Wow, okay, so we can't cause any damage to it, so it's just a hull point. Now we've got a heavy mind blast into the front of that paladin. Hits on 2s, but rerolls, thankfully. Holy hell. Okay, thankfully it does hit, and it's a D blast. So let's have a look what we've got. Okay, so iron shield save.
4 up. Oh, no, it slips through.
Oh, D3 hull points. There's 2 remaining. Sorry. Come on. Oh, you. Okay, and 1 hull point remaining. Xenos Construct turn 4 assault phase. We've got a 7-inch charge to make contact with that knight. Fingers crossed. Oh, wowzers. Look at that. That's a 9. Starting initiative 10, the Guardian drone has a Hammer of Wrath attack on that knight. It's got 1 hull point remaining and requires a 5 to glance. Come on. Oh, wowzers. Okay, that is a penetrate. And there's no AP on it. So now we roll on the catastrophic damage for that knight. It's a 4, which is again another Titanic explosion. Let's see where the knight goes. Oh, it's bang on. So the key point here is that the Guardian drone is clipped by a D blast. Boris, do you want to roll?
Okay, we could do with a 6 here. No, that's a 2. At least it's not a 1, so that is D3. However, you do get your invuln.
I do. Let's have a quick look at this. Invulnerable save, 4 up. Okay, that fails, and we suffer D3 wounds.
2. Okay, not bad.
And a bit of feel no pain from that then. Okay, so we do save 1, but suffer 1 wound. That is the end of turn 4 for the Xenos Construct. A really good turn. Managed to deal and get rid of those 2 knights, which is really essential. So now we can turn our focus onto the other 3 that are threatening our nest. After the combat there, the gargantuan creature consolidated 3 centimeters, and we're in a reasonable position.
Malinax turn 4 movement. We only have 3 models left on the board, but we should be able to put some serious threat down. The 2 Questoris Knights have moved right into the middle courtyard, and they're going to threaten both the objective, the nest, and those units in the middle with their firepower and perhaps charging. And on the left, the Knight Lancer has just turned around to bring its weapons to bear and will be shooting and charging those drones right in front of them. Malinax turn 4 shooting, and we're starting with the Knight Lancer. It's going to fire its Shock Blast lance into the unit of worker drones in front of it. 6 shots, BS5 hitting on 2s. That is all hits, that's fantastic. Need that again for wounds. Wounding on 4s, well, almost 4 wounding hits is AP2, so that cuts through their armour.
Cool, that was rough, that was. Okay, so we go straight onto our invulnerable save. We save 1, and now we have 6 up, feel no pain. Oh, wow. Okay, 1 wound suffered, and is concussed.
Next up, we have the Knight Errant. It fired with its thermal lance to clip the worker drone unit right next to the reactor and the central objective, the nest. Unfortunately, 11 centimeter scatter, and after deducting ballistic skill on that, we scattered away from the objective, but still landed 2 hits on the work drone unit, which is great. So strength 9, toughness 7, 2s to wound. That is 2 wounding hits. AP 1.
6 up invuln, 5 up invulnerable, sorry, and 6 up feel no pain. Oh, 1 wound suffered. And that will kill one of those drones.
Next, we have the indomitable stubber. 3 shots, 2 hits, and 6s. No. Next to fire, we have the Night Warden. Bit of a tough decision. It has the Avenger Gatling Cannon, which is, to be honest, better at shooting the drones than the objective, and normally couldn't hurt it, but it's been dropped down armor value twice, thanks to the grab from the Atropos. So there's now armor 11. Bit of a waste to shoot at it, but we need to see if we can get this building cleared. So we have 12 shots hitting on 3s. Oh, that is not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 misses. And then we are glancing on 5s. Wow, nothing higher than a 3, so absolutely no damage to the building whatsoever. Malinax turn 4 combat phase, and the only charge we have is the Night Lancer into those worker drones. No Overwatch, and a charge of double 6, so that is a 12-inch charge. Lovely. Making contact, and at the beginning of the turn, initiative 10, we have a Hammer of Wrath from the Knight. That is a wound on a 5.
6 up, invulnerable in combat, feel no pain. Oh no, so 1 wound suffered to one of those drones.
At initiative 5 on the charge, the Night Lancer strikes out a mighty 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 1s, that's not great, but 3 hits. These are D weapons, however, so 3 rolls on the table. Wow, okay, so 2d3 and 1 destroyed result, so that is 1. So that is 1 drone completely destroyed. It is 6 plus d6, 3, so that is 9 wounds to a single drone.
Now we get 2 invulnerable saves for those attacks, which we fail.
Okay, then these both do d3, so a 1 and a 3, so that is 4 wounds dealt out.
Alright, 6 up, feel no pain. 1 out the dice tray. No, that is all failed, and 1 more drone is killed. The drones will attack back with their smash attacks, requiring 4s to hit. That is a good start. 2 hits, and we are strength 10, requiring 3s on 2 dice. Okay, you get to re-roll thanks to doing the smash. Okay, so we get 1 glance and 1 pen. Let's have the glance.
Okay, so the Iron Shield does give us an invuln in combat. 5 up, so glance. No, and that's 1 whole point, and the penetrating hit. No, both go through.
Ooh, 2 whole points, and we get +1 to this roll for extra damage. No, so just 2 whole points.
The Malinax Night Lancer wins the combat, but both sides are fearless, so the combat will just continue. End of turn 4 for Malinax. Really disappointed not to have properly destroyed that central objective. We had a lot of firepower that just absolutely pinged off it, but at least we thinned out the drones a little. On the other flank, the Night Lancer does show why it is fearsome in combat and just is squishing those drones left and right, but it's going to take a little while to cut through them, and that is not something we have a lot of.
Xenos Constructs turn 5 movement phase. This could be potentially the last turn of the game, so the drones have gone in for the kill. Everything has moved back towards the nest and will fire into those 2 knights there, whilst the Guardian drone has moved around the side of that building to get a side armor shot and force the ion shields to face in a particular direction. So we'll see what happens. Xenos Constructs turn 5 shooting phase and start the Guardian drone into the side of the Errant. We require a 2 to hit. Thankfully, that's good. The heavy mine blasters hit. It's a D weapon. The ion shield is on the front, so this will go through. So fingers crossed. Okay, and that is a D3 hull points, which is a mighty 1. Next, we're going to fire its cluster spines into the side of that Errant. 3 shots requiring 2s to hit. Hit, and 6s to glance on that side armor of 12. Come on, look at that. Wow, 1 more hull point, so that is 1 remaining on that knight. The Guardian drones are going to try and finish off that Errant if they can. There are 3 of them firing into its front and have 8 dice, require 3s. They're not in range of the Warlord trait there, so don't get to roll any 1s. They are 5 to glance, 6 to pen. Ooh, we get 1 of each. Let's have a glance.
Okay, either one of these will wreck the knight. So glance, 4 up, passed. Come on, 4 up. Yes.
Wow.
6 and a 5, so he's fine.
Holy hell. All right, we'll go on to the next drone unit on the left-hand side. Exactly the same. 8 shots, hitting on 3s. Drop 1, that's pretty decent. 5 to glance, 6 to pen. Oh, 1 pen.
Okay.
Is it enough?
1 more to stay in the game. Come on.
Oh.
Yes, he shrugs it off.
Xenos Construct turn 5 assault phase. A big roll now required for the Guardian drone into the side of that errant. We need a 12 centimeter charge. Huge roll. Come on. Oh, it's out the dice tray, but we've got a 3 and a 5. 8, not too bad. Continue on with the assault phase. We'll go into the combat with the Lancer and the 2 drones. The Lancer will strike first.
Okay, initiative 4 is Lance striking in, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 2 miss, which is a little bit unfortunate. D chart, however, 2d3, so 2 hits. You do get your invulnerable.
Yeah, 6 up in combat. No.
Okay, 2d3. Okay, that's a 2 and a 3, so that's potentially 5 wounds.
All right, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 up, feel no pain. Come on. Oh no. Okay, so that does kill one of those drones. Last to strike is the worker drone with a smash attack requiring a 4 to hit. That is a very good start. Strength 10 with front armor 13. We get a reroll for this though. Oh geez, that is nothing, and that combat will continue. And the turn 5 for the Xenos Construct, that could be the last turn of the game. We've put up a reasonable defense of that nest. However, those 2 knights may decide to go straight for the nest and take it out and score their objective, but we'll have to find out.
How's Malinax turn 5 movement, and all we've done is both those Questoris knights have moved right up to the edge of that nest, and we're going to put as much firepower as needed to try and kill it, and if not, charge it and try and kill it. If that doesn't work, we've given it all we can. Malinax turn 5 shooting, and we're starting with the Knight Errant fires its thermal lance straight down the throat of the nest. It hit, luckily, so we have a strength 9 melter hit, so we are automatically glancing on a double 1, but hopefully you can do better than that. Only just a 4, but that is a penetrating hit, so that's 1 whole point, and we'll roll on the vehicle, we'll roll on the building damage table. So this is AP1, so +2, that's a 2 that goes to a 4, which is structural collapse, which would affect anyone embarked in the building, but no one is, so that's just another whole point. Next to shoot, we have the Night Warden. It's going to risk not putting its fire into the nest. We're fairly sure we can kill it with the Errant on the charge, so it's going to fire all 12 shots from the Gatling cannon into the nearest worker drone unit, hitting on 3s. That's really not good again. That is a total of 5 hits from 12 shots, wounding on 5, strength 6. Only 1 wound. That's really disappointing. However, AP3.
All right, takes its time. Vulnerable save 5 up. 6 up, feel no pain. Oh, geez. Takes a wound.
We'll finish this off with a heavy stubber. Let's see what we can do. All 3 hit. 6 to wound. There we go. There's the 1 wound.
3 up. Oh, thankfully.
Turn 5 assault phase. We're starting with the Night Warden. It'll charge into the Guardian. It'll charge into the worker drone unit that it shot. It is a 6 centimeter charge. That is a fail on a 4, so it is stuck still. And then, more importantly, the Knight Errant will charge the nest and see if it can hack it to pieces with the with its chainsword. Double 1 will get it in. That is a 6, so it will successfully make the charge. Making it into combat with the structure in the center, the Errant deals a Hammer of Wrath at initiative 10. That is a 15 on the vehicle damage, so that does a whole point, leaving it on 1 remaining, and then strikes in with its chainsword, 4 attacks, hits automatically against the structure, so we have 4 rolls on the D table. Anything but 4 1s would be good here. That is more than enough. That's 1 D6 plus 6 and several D3 worth of whole points. So that nest is collapsed, which is absolutely fantastic, securing us 3 victory points right at the bottom of the game. Last up, we have the ongoing combat between the Knight Lancer and the single worker drone now left in combat. We have 4 attacks at initiative 4. We strike first, hitting on 3s. 3 hits, that's possibly what we need. D weapon chart. That is a 6 and 2d3. That is easily enough to kill the drone before it gets to strike back. Consolidating just behind the building, because if there is a 6th turn, we want to stay out of line of fire. End of turn 5 for House Malinax. Quite a good turn overall. A bit of a shame we failed that charge, but at least we destroyed a unit and, more importantly, collapsed that nest. It is variable game length, so we would like the game to end very much now as we're just ahead on VPs, but I'm pretty sure the Xenos player would like a 6th turn, so we go to variable.
Definitely need this for another turn to get some points, so 3 up. That is out the dice tray. The tension is really high here. Oh! There we go. Xenos Construct turn 6 movement phase. Unbelievably, we got a 6th turn, which we desperately need to try and bring a draw if we can. So everything moved to surround those 2 knights on top of the nest there. And then finally, the Guardian drone moved behind the 2 knights. And we'll decide which one to charge as and when we resolve the attacks from the drones in the front. Xenos Construct's turn 6 shooting. We'll start with the drones in the front of the errant there. Ion Shield is on the front, but we've got 8 shots requiring 3s to hit. No rerolling of 1s, we're not in the range of the Warlord. And 5s and 6s, rinse and repeat. Oh, that was a really good. So 3 glance, 1 pen.
Okay, so the errant has a single hold point left. Do you want to do glances first?
Go on then, why not?
All right, 3 4-ups. Oh no, if luck's run out, they all go through, and the pen, just for fun, also goes through, so all 4 failed.
All right, let's see if we can just explode it for some more. We can't. Now we'll roll on the catastrophic damage table. It's a 2, and now let's see where it scatters. That is directly towards the worker drones there, 8 centimeters. Unbelievably, the shot scattered where that dice is with the Mechanicum symbol. The D does not clip any of those worker drones, but they are clipped. 2 of them are clipped by a Strength 8 AP3, so 3s to wound.
Okay, 3 up. Double 1, nothing, they get off unscathed.
Amazing. Next to fire are the worker drones in the side of the Knight Warden there. We've got 1 in the front and 2 in the side, so we'll do the shots from the front first. 3s to hit. We get to reroll 1s, but it doesn't matter. And 5s and 6s, that is a glance. The Ion Shield is angled towards the side, so that goes straight through and causes a hull point. And then we'll go on to the 6 shots in the side. Reroll 1 for the Warlord trait. It's been an amazing Warlord trait here. 5s and 6s into the side. That is 1 penetrate, and we get an Ion Shield save.
Okay, 4 up. No, slipped through again.
Okay, so that's another hull point. Can we explode it? We cannot. The 2 drones are in the side of the Warden also have cluster spines, so hits on 3s, re-rolling those 1s. Wow. Holy hell. All right, 6s to glance. Yeah, we'll take that. That's 1 glance.
Okay, 1 more Ion Shield save. Okay, we finally passed 1.
Moving on to the Guardian drone that is in the rear of that Knight Paladin. We'll first start off with the Destruction Spike, and that's a haywire template weapon. So we get a glance. There's no Ion Shield, so that just causes a hull point. Now we move on to the Cluster Spines. 2s to hit. Ooh, 6s. Not a sausage. That's unfortunate. And now we'll go on to our Heavy Mind Blast. Hits on a 2. And now we roll on the D chart. Oh, look at that. That was an extravagant roll. So this is just D3 hull points. There are 2 left, so we need a 3+. Oh my word, look at that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. It has been destroyed. Okay, let's roll for the result on the catastrophic table. It's a 2, which is an explosion. So let's roll for scatter. And it does hit bang on where it is. That's fine. So we won't get caught by the D, but 3 of those drones will be caught by a Strength 4 AP4 blast. So 6s to wound.
Okay,
Right?
3 wounding hits on 6. No, unfortunate.
End of turn 6 for the Xenos Constructs. They have redeemed themselves. They've not protected their nest, but they have cleared out this night threat with an exception of the Lancer. So not a bad result there for the Xenos Constructs. We will move straight into turn 6 for House Malinax, and the Lancer here is skulking behind the building to avoid those Mind Blasts from the Xenos Constructs. He will inevitably run off and bring reinforcements into the next game. So that is the end of the game, and we're going to tot up victory points. The Knights were successful in destroying the Xenos nest, which is a bit unfortunate, but we managed to take a death toll on those Knights almost.
Yeah, that was one model left on the board at the end of the game.
Ooh, it was like it switched it around.
Yeah, it was rough.
That was a really, really fun game. Having that long range ability from those Knights, from the Xenos constructs, bolstered by the Guardian drone, really helped us, I think.
Your shooting was amazing that round. I mean, yeah, you guys don't get to see, but between takes and shots, we were just sort of laughing our heads off at some of the dice rolls and that. That was crazy, but a lot of fun, and I think they really came into their own in this one, especially aided by their sort of bigger brother.
It helped.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about amazing dice rolls, Boris, your ion shields were phenomenal.
To start with, right at the end, they left me. But I'll admit, for the entire game, shrugging off hits all over the place. But it was as soon as a single unit gets around, as soon as they're being shot from two sides at once, they just folded. Even the Atropos and the Paladin right in the middle of the board died in one turn, I think, all to shooting. So yeah, you just sort of got to start getting around the side of them, basically. When it's all head on, they're just tough.
Yeah, it might feel rough that you need 5 and 6s to glance the front, but when you get around the side of those shields, you've got the cluster spines, which is a high rate of firepower, and you're just rolling dice to get the best of them, and also those 5 and 6s start coming to their own. So it does even out as we start to maneuver a little bit more.
Absolutely, and they've got sheer weight of firepower. The Guardian drone has that single horrible, nice D shot, but the little worker drones have 11 shots for a single unit is great. I mean, even I think it's the Warden has the Avenger Gatling cannon, which is 12 shots, but it's not that powerful. So yeah, they really tell as soon as you start getting around the flank. They make their presence known. Yeah,
it was pretty cool. All right, so let's go on to victory points. We'll start with the Xenos. I've got to refer to my notes because there's quite a few to remember. Death toll, we felled 4 of the Knights. That's 4 points to us total. But the Knights, you destroyed the nest.
Yeah, which awards 3 points. It would have awarded 3 points to the Xenos if it had been alive, but we just managed to kill it after a lot of shooting. And we killed a single unit. Again, it's a bit like fighting Phalanx, actually. There's a lot of wounds and a lot of maneuverability in those units. So it takes a lot to kill even one unit. So we gained 1 point, so that's 4 as well.
So we've got a draw.
A draw for our second game.
Oh, the tension is just unreal. It's great.
It's excellent.
This, for me, was a thoroughly enjoyable game. You've got the kind of the David and Goliath, the little guys versus the big metal guys, and it's just so much fun. As Boris said, we were rolling dice. It's just sheer dice, this game, and that's got to be fun, right?
Oh, it's great fun. It's just sort of big robots punching giant monsters. It's just sort of, anime style.
It's like a childhood dream. All right, that's enough for us today. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to next week where we can bring you that next game. Boris, where can we find you on Instagram if we need to do so?
Instagram, pack_paints.
Fantastic, and the channel is at the 30K channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.